Scrapbooksubscribers and stationery enthusiasts, it's Christy here, Snarky Wordsworth over on Instagram and Reddit. And as you can see, the screen today looks a little bit busy, and that is because I am going to get started on a project that I've been meaning to do for a while, and I figured since I'm going to be working on it anyway, I might as well do a little video in the hopes that it might help somebody out there if you happen to be in a similar situation. So this is the case that I keep all of my fountain pens in, and I had followed this really useful Instructable DIY for how to put it together. The case itself is just an acrylic cosmetics case that I've got off of Amazon, and these inserts are all just made with some felt, some chipboard, and some dowel rods, and I actually really like them. I love the way they turned out, but they definitely don't hold enough per tray. I was trying to be generous with space because I do tend to like, having a little bit more space around things, but we've gotten to the point where that's just not working for me any longer, and I really need to be able to store more pens per tray. And so I was able to pick up these really kind of simple but nice minimal trays from Pen Industries. I think it was about $16 for 4 of them, which is plenty for me. And I think these will definitely be able to hold far more pens per tray, and it'll give me a little bit of leeway before I have to pick up another one of these cases and my collection just gets a little too out of hand. Because right now it's already grown out of this. My 2 travel cases are totally full, and I just don't want anything to get scratched up or lost or anything like that. And so we're going to go ahead and do this. Like I said, hopefully anything you see in this video might be helpful if you're looking to do a project like this yourself. If you happen to have any questions, feel free to comment with those below. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, hopefully this is helpful. Okay, to get things started, here I have a template on cardstock that I cut down to fit the precise inside of each of the drawers in my case. And these are going to be 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. Like I said, it's just on plain cardstock, and I just want it as a guide for when I cut out the trays. Now, the trays that are going to run this way are actually pretty much perfect. So I won't really have any excess at all, and I won't have to sort of finagle some of the edges. But the one that I have with the pens going horizontally, that might be a little bit of a challenge. So we will do that one last. But for now, I am just going to go ahead and use mechanical pencil to sort of trace out the lines just so that I have them there along with a ruler. And then I also have my razor sharp Fiskars. These really are insane. I don't use them often because I'm afraid of cutting my fingers off. They really are insanely sharp, and I have nicked myself on many occasions. So these are going to be perfect for this. Tray number 1, just a couple more to go. Okay, so I do want to quickly double check and make sure that I did cut this to the right dimensions before we go any further, because that would totally suck if I was off in some way. And this will also just help me to check if I need to do any quick trimming of the edges or anything like that, because I do think that I have the primary set of dimensions a-okay. So let's go ahead and do that. And that is a perfect fit. And just so you can see how many actually fit in the tray now. Ooh, see, and now I have an excuse to get more pens. That's exactly what I was looking for, right? But yeah, no, I'm really happy. This looks less cluttered than I thought it would, because I was honestly a little bit nervous that they would just feel a little too close, but I think I'm happy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of the other trays, and then I will sort of show each of the new trays with the new insert, and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks. just as an FYI, not only are the scissors pretty sharp, but make sure if you do end up doing this project, you are careful of the edges of the tray, the cut edges of the trays. They are quite sharp as well. I actually think I'm going to potentially run a little bit of really fine grade sandpaper on the edges just to sort of smooth them down just a little bit so they're not quite so razor sharp. But this is my last tray. Perfect. Okay, so this top tray, I have thoughts. These are generally going to be my larger pens anyway, simply because they are very long and won't fit, in this case, vertically. But I tend towards small pens anyway. These two will actually fit in the other cases. So I might just keep these really spread out and see how that goes. You know, skip one over, and I'll still have enough for a fair number of pens. Again, I don't really get too many of the large or oversized ones, so I think I should be pretty okay. But anyway, let me add these two guys to the other cases, and then I will show off the new completed case. Okay, so I have finished swapping out all of the trays. I removed all of the pens from my traveling cases, put them into the trays, and come to find out, I actually don't have that much free space. But a lot of my pens do live in the traveling cases, so I'm not going to be concerned because everything does, at the end of the day, fit into all of these trays. So I am going to say that I'm happy and not worry about it for the moment. But that big pen buying spree is probably out the window. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and slot these guys in, and then this project will be completed. Ta-da! Well, so I managed to finish that in not too much time. I think probably a total of about 35 minutes, which is much faster than I thought it would be. Like I said, if you do happen to have any questions about any of the tools that I used or the materials, please feel free to comment with those below. I'll try and link to as many things as I can. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. If this video was in any way helpful, interesting, entertaining, please do consider hitting that like button or potentially even the subscription button. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye-bye.